What's the best credit card for Malaysians in 2025? And is it worth learning how to trade actively? So, a few weeks ago, I put up an Instagram story asking you guys to share any content ideas or to just leave me any questions related to personal finance. And in today's video, I'll be answering some of those questions. I thought this kind of content would be kind of interesting, so let's get to it. First up, there were a few questions from some of you guys on the best credit cards for 2025. In my opinion, at least, it didn't really change from last year, but let's just look through some of it. First one is the Maybank 2 Gold cards. This is one of my first ever credit cards and I still use it until today. I really like the 5% cashback, but the catch is you can only get it if you spend on weekends and you have to use the Amex card. The second option for you guys to consider is the UOB 1 card. So this one I don't have personally, but I still think is one of the best options out there for most Malaysians. They do give very nice cashback as well. 10% on things like petrol, groceries, dining, and Grab. But the main reason that I think this is suitable for most Malaysians is that the minimum spend to get this cashback is only 500 ringgit, which should be reachable for most people. And then the final option is for those of you guys who are big spenders, and that is the RHB Shell Visa credit card. So this one is my main card that I'm using right now. They do give 12% cashback on Shell spend, and they also give another 5% on things like groceries, dining, I think, online spend, as well as utilities. So the major catch for this is that you have to spend over 2,500 ringgit every single month to get this level of cashback. If you guys want to find out more about these credit cards or if you want to apply for them, I've left the links down in the description below. Sometimes you will get really nice rewards just for applying for these cards from Ringgit Plus. For example, right now, the UOB one is giving 600 Ringgit touching a voucher guaranteed. Moving on to the next question. So first, some context. I recently posted a video about how I bought a house and my interest rate was 3.9%. And someone asked me, how did I manage to get this? And basically the answer is you need to have a good credit score. So the first thing that you will need is obviously a credit history. If you guys have never taken a loan before, then you will have no credit history and it's going to be hard for a bank to give you good interest rates. So yeah, that's why I always recommend you guys to get something like a credit card just to start building out your credit score. And then of course, you need good payment history. So you need to make sure that every single loan that you have, you pay it off every single month. And if you have credit cards, you pay the entire statement balance every single month. If you miss even 1 month worth of payments, this will be negative on your credit score. That is a red flag for them and it will be there for quite a long time. And then another thing that they do consider as well is your credit utilization. So let's say you have a credit card with a limit of 5,000 ringgit and every month you spend 4,000 ringgit. This is negative for them because your credit utilization is 80%. Whereas compared to someone else who also spends 4,000 a month, but their credit limit is 20,000 ringgit. This guy is only using 20% of his available credit and it's a lot better for him. So yeah, this is why having a high credit limit is not actually a bad thing. You should go ahead and apply for it. Another thing that I also found out that impacts our credit score is the frequency of your credit report requests. So let's say in recent times you had a lot of credit card applications and you also had loan applications with the bank. If you have a lot of this recently, it will have a slight negative impact on your credit report, at least for the next few months. But when it comes to applying for a house loan and getting good interest rates, there are of course other factors as well. For example, the bank will look at the amount of loans that you currently have and the stability of your income and your job. Next question. This one is an interesting one to me. Someone asked if people in their 20s should be focused on just maximizing their ASB. First of all, I want to say that if you are eligible for ASB, then I think it is a really good place for you to invest your money. They give returns of over 5% plus a year and it's almost risk-free, which is why I think it's the perfect place for most people to start their investing journey. My view is that for younger people, those of you guys who are in your 20s or 30s, you should invest at least some money towards things like stocks or crypto, where yes, the risk is higher, but there's also potentially higher returns. The way I see it is that when we're young, we can afford to take risks, we can afford to lose money, and we can afford to go through bear markets just because there's such a long way to go before we retire. The same cannot be said for people who are close to retirement, people who are in their 50s, because they will need the cash very, very soon, compared to people like us who, we don't really need that cash. The thing is, the difference between getting 5% a year and 7 to 8% a year is huge, especially if you're talking long term. It can be in the hundreds of thousands of ringgit. And to show you guys the impact of it, I asked ChatGPT to help me simulate someone who invests 500 ringgit a month from 25 years old all the way to 60 years old, and one person is earning 5% a year, the other is earning 8% a year. The difference in final portfolio value is over 500,000 ringgit, or basically double the amount. So I would say, yes, still invest your money in ASB. I do think it is a good place for you to invest, but also allocate some portion of your investments towards things like stocks. If you are extremely conservative, you can always start off with something like 90% ASB, 10% stocks. See how you feel about that and then just make adjustments as you go. Next question. Someone's asking, in what world can loans be considered good? And someone also said, take out loans for investment. Nope, definitely nope. Google it. My stance on loans is a bit different from the general financial advice that you hear out there, which is, people usually want to be debt-free. But I think that there are scenarios where loans can be actually good for us. Just think about it this way. If you can take a loan where you're paying an effective interest rate of 3%, so you're paying 3% a year to borrow money, and you can put it somewhere else to earn 5%, why wouldn't you do it? The best example of this is ASB financing. It's the exact scenario. And I've done many videos over the years comparing ASB financing to just normally investing into ASB and showing how ASB financing is a pretty good option despite you paying interest to the banks. And it's a similar scenario for those of you guys who are thinking of paying off your house loan early. Taking my example, of course, everyone's interest rate is different, but mine is 3.9%. So instead of paying it off early and trying to save 3.9%, I can instead use that cash to earn 5% plus with ASB, and it's pretty much risk-free. And I can just make my loan payments as usual every single month as well. Of course, I wouldn't recommend you guys to take on personal loans to go invest into extremely risky stuff. That is a big no-no, but I'm just trying to tell you guys that not all loans are bad. Sometimes it can be good. An example of this is sometimes I do get promos from banks to take on 0% interest loans. To me, this is a no-brainer. Just take it. Now, there were also a lot of questions from you guys regarding trading, but the one that I will answer is active trading something worth learning? So for those of you guys who don't know, I am a full-time trader by profession, but before I got to this job, I was a part-time trader as well while having another job. I also made a video talking about my experience as a full-time trader after 7 months, so if you guys are interested, you can check it out here. The answer is, it depends on you. If you can figure out trading, you can actually make a really good amount of money and you can still maintain a full-time job because you could be a swing trader where things are a bit less active, or you could trade the US markets which opens at night. So you can still work your full-time job during the day and then trade the US market at night. That's what I used to do. But one thing you must consider is that trading is extremely tough and most people just won't make it. The thing is, you need to put in a lot of time, a lot of effort to be successful. And it's not something where you can say, I just want to spend 10 minutes a day and I want to make 10,000 ringgit a month. It's just not going to happen. So if you see any trading gurus telling you this, it's not going to work. You have to put in the effort and the time. So to me, if you guys are considering being a trader, then you have to enjoy it for it to be sustainable long term. Just because you're going to go through a lot of suffering. If you don't enjoy it, you'll just quit halfway. So yeah, you need to be someone like me who even back then, I was willing to sacrifice some time to learn how to trade. My only advice is you should just start small. Even if you have a lot of cash saved up, you should not go with huge position sizes because if you don't know what you're doing and let's say you are still a reckless trader, you can lose a lot of money. Just like how you can make a lot of money, you can of course lose a lot as well. Finally, there were also a lot of you guys asking me about how to manage couple finances or how you can save money for your kids. I will answer the second question, which is how can you save money and invest for your kids? I actually think that investing, not just saving money for your kids, is an extremely good idea and I'm going to be doing this myself as well. So if you start investing for your kid right from when they're born, they literally have their entire lives ahead of them to enjoy the impact of compounding. And it can be very, very huge. Let's say, right from the day that your kid was born, you invest 500 ringgit a month for them. By the time they hit 18, the value of this portfolio would be over 200,000 ringgit just by investing 500 a month for 18 years. This could be the perfect gift for them, to start their lives, or you could even use this cash to pay for their education. So if I were to do this, I would open a separate investment account for my kids just to make sure everything is split. If you're using something like Moomoo or Interactive Brokers, they do allow you to open a separate account so you can have another one for your kids' portfolio and then you can invest into stocks, ETFs, whatever you want. Another good option is to use robo-advisors like Stashaway. This one is a lot more simple, it's a lot more passive. You can set up your auto-recurring investments every single month really, really simply. If any of you guys are interested in this, you want to sign up for it, then I've left the link down below as well. So that's all the questions I'm answering today. I hope that you guys enjoy this kind of content. If you do, and if you want to see more of it, feel free to leave your content ideas or your questions down in the comments below, or you can just reach out to me on Instagram as well. Thanks for watching this video to the end, guys. Give me a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.